Hey, Brock! Where the hell did you go? Your room's empty. There's not a single thing left. It's like you vanished. Brock, answer me, damn it! I'm not going to waste my whole entire day looking around for where you went. I have to get back to the casino soon as well. You should have figured it out by now the moment you saw all my stuff was gone. I've decided to move out of the house. What? I've already told Mom everything, but seriously, just because I lived there doesn't mean you can dump all the housework on me. Huh? It's been affecting my work, so I decided I couldn't stay there any longer. You quit your job and turned into a shut-in, didn't you? Doing housework is the least you could do. Since you can't contribute money to the house, I figured I'd make you useful in other ways. Just how far are you planning to sink? Look at your brother Mark busting his ass to get an offer from a top company. Why don't you take a page out of his book? That's the thing. The reason I left my company was to work from home. I'm freelancing now, taking on projects. And that means I can't be home all day doing chores for you. Freelancing? That's just a fancy way of saying you're a part-timer. And let's be honest, you're not making any money. Freelancing and part-timing are two completely different things. How many times do I have to explain this? You're not even trying to understand what remote work is about. And besides, you're not working at all right now, Dad. What? Yeah, it was around the time I've been working for about 2 years. You inherited Grandpa's fortune and then quit your job, didn't you? You got all high and mighty, spending way too much, and now you've racked up a ridiculous amount of debt because you couldn't stop living the high life. You knew about that? The real mystery here is how you thought I wouldn't notice. And on top of that, you owe all that money to Uncle, the same one who paid for my tuition. Just because Uncle's stationed overseas and hard to reach doesn't mean you can slack on paying him back. Do you realize how messed up that is? I never said I wouldn't pay him back. Well, you'd better make sure you do. And that's why I'm going to send you some money for the time being, enough to cover rent and living expenses. But there's a catch. You have to start working. I've already talked this over with Mom, and I told her the same thing. You two need to have a serious conversation and figure things out. But as for me, I'm done. I'm never setting foot in that house again. Oh, wait a second. Goodbye.
I can't believe you actually left. You're not even working in the first place. This is unbelievable.
Both parents have no understanding of what it means to work from home. I can't believe you're so out of touch with how the world works nowadays. Remote work is a perfectly normal way to earn a living, and it's becoming more and more mainstream. People don't even blink twice at it anymore, but here we are.
That has nothing to do with the fact that you're not actually working.
I've had enough of this. I'm not even trying to make you understand anymore. I've given up on that. Look, like I said before, I'll keep sending money to help, but only because I don't want to burden Uncle any more than we already have. He's the one who covered my tuition, after all. And for Mark's sake, since he's still in college and living at home, I want to make sure things don't get harder for him. So you better start working seriously.
Brock! Hey, Brock, could you send a bit more money this month?
What? Why? I'm already sending $3,500.
Well, I kind of messed up at the part-time job I started recently, and now I have to pay for damages out of my own pocket.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I guess I'm really not cut out for working after all.
Oh, come on.
I promise I'll find another job soon. But also, starting in 2 months, the rent's going up and utility bills have been sky high lately. You know how it is with water and electricity costs going through the roof. When I put it all together, the only solution is for you to send more money.
I don't know.
Plus, there's still all that debt hanging over us, so I'm really begging you.
Fine, I guess I have no choice.
Hey, Brock, you should really be ashamed of yourself.
What? Dad, you barely ever reach out, and now suddenly you're contacting me just to lecture me? What's this all about?
You've been slacking off on the money you're supposed to be sending lately, haven't you? You think I wouldn't notice?
Wait, what? What are you even talking about?
Don't play dumb. It didn't take me too long to figure it out. It was weird from the start for someone like you working freelance or part-time to be sending us that kind of money. At first, I thought maybe you were just chipping away at your severance package from when you left your job, or maybe you even took out a loan just to keep up appearances. Am I right? But there's no way you could keep that up long term. You're not fooling anyone. I knew sooner or later the well would dry up.
Where are you getting these ideas from?
It's obvious when you think about it, but when I look at Mark now, he's something else. He's doing everything right. He graduated, got a job at a major company this year, and do you know what he's done? He's already started sending us money. It's like you two swapped places. He's stepped up where you've fallen down. Guess how much he's sending us? $5,000, Brock. That's right, $5,000 every month. Mark really knows how to support his family. You should learn something from your younger brother, honestly.
What? $5,000? Mark? Dad, that doesn't make sense. How could Mark, who just started his career fresh out of college, afford to send you that much money every month? And wait a second, what's this about me only sending $5? Where are you getting that from? The $5,000 you're talking about? It's coming from me, not Mark.
You? Are you trying to be funny? You, a part-timer? Don't make me laugh. You're trying to tell me that someone in your position can afford to send that kind of money?
Dad, come on. How many times do I have to explain this? I'm not a part-timer. I'm freelancing. I've told you this before, but you never seem to listen.
Freelancer, part-timer, same difference. At the end of the day, you're still just scraping by. You might think you're doing well, but we both know the truth.
You still don't get it. Fine. How about this? Why don't I just stop sending the money altogether? Would that be better for you?
What?
The money, Dad. I'll stop sending it. You're always saying how it doesn't matter and calling it $5, so if it's that insignificant to you, maybe it's time I stop sending anything.
Go ahead then, stop sending it. If you think your little contribution makes a difference, then by all means see what happens when you stop. You really think losing $5 is going to hurt us? Come on, Brock, get real.
Dad, I'm telling you, it's not $5, it's $5,000. And you're saying you're okay if I stop? If that's what you want, I'll stop sending the money. But you'd better be sure about this, because once I stop, I'm not going to start again.
You really think we need anything from you? You seriously think losing your tiny contribution would make us struggle? Brock, you've got to stop thinking you're more important than you are. There's no way losing your so-called $5,000 would affect us. We'll be just fine without it, trust me. Mark's already got us covered anyway, so we don't need anything from you.
All right then. If that's how you feel, I guess this is a weight off my shoulders. Not having to send that money anymore is actually going to help me out. I didn't want to bring this up, but lately, the amount I've been sending has been getting out of control. The last few months, I've been sending nearly half of my monthly income to you guys. It's been getting harder and harder to manage my own expenses, and I was starting to realize that this just isn't sustainable for me. I didn't want to say anything because I knew you needed the help, but I've been thinking for a while now that I can't keep this up. But you know, Mark's out of school now, and he's moved out of the house into his company's dorms. He doesn't need me to help pay for his tuition anymore, and it sounds like you guys are getting by just fine with what he's sending. So if you're saying you don't need my help anymore, then I'm gonna take you up on that. I won't send anything from now on.
Good! We don't need your money. It's about time you admitted you were struggling. I knew it all along. You were trying to play the big shot, but you were barely keeping it together, weren't you?
Yeah, you said it yourself. You don't need me to send anything, right? I was planning on transferring this month's money next week, but I guess I'll just hold on to it now. It sounds like you and Mark have everything under control, so I'll stop here.
But...
Nope, no buts. I'm taking your advice and stopping the payments, so thanks for giving me the green light. This'll be the last time we talk about this. I'm done.
Hey, Brock. It seems like this month's allowance hasn't been transferred into my account yet. If you don't send it soon, I won't be able to pay the rent.
Wait, what? Mom, hasn't Dad told you I'm not sending the allowance anymore starting this month?
What? Why not? This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Yeah, Dad said that losing my allowance wouldn't lead to any major hardship. He also said something about how he didn't need my measly little allowance, so apparently I don't need to send it anymore.
What? Oh, that lazy man who quit his job and spends all day lying around the house has no idea what will happen if the $5,000 allowance stops. Does he not understand the consequences?
Yeah, about that, he seemed to think the $5,000 allowance was from Mark, and that I was only sending $5 every month. He was complaining about it.
Wait, what?
I tried explaining that it's been me sending the $5,000, but he didn't believe me. Mom, do you have any idea why he might think that?
Oh no, oh, I messed up. Hey, you!
Huh?
Is it true that you've stopped Brock's allowance?
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, cutting off a measly $5 isn't gonna make much difference.
What have you done?
Look, let's be real. With such a useless son, what difference does it make? Besides, we have Mark now. He's been sending us $5,000 every month from his job at a major company. So I really don't see why we should worry about Brock.
But it's Brock we're talking about.
What about him?
The $5,000 allowance is actually from Brock.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Yes.
But you told me that the $5,000 was from Mark and that recently Brock was only sending $5. How does that even work?
Well, Mark told me he stopped sending money.
Wait, what?
He said that living alone in this expensive city makes it impossible for him to keep sending so much money every month.
So the $5,000 from Mark is actually Brock's money?
Exactly. It turns out that the Brock we thought was a failure is actually doing quite well. I don't want to accept that reality.
But Brock is just a part-timer. In that case, Mark from the major company is the one who's successful.
Well, Brock is actually running his own business now. He's a company president.
Huh?
I didn't believe it at first either, but one of the neighbors showed me a magazine with his face on it, and he was featured in a story. He quit his job, went freelance, and then started his own company. I was forced to accept reality after reading that success story.
Why didn't you tell me this before? Why keep something so important a secret?
I did tell you, but you still don't understand the difference between a part-timer and a freelancer, so it ended up looking like Mark was the one doing well. Oh, you've always favored Mark, bragging about him to the neighbors, and now it's hard to correct that image.
Seriously?
Look, more importantly, we need to ask Brock to restart the allowance. If this keeps up, I won't be able to pay this month's rent or utilities, and I won't be able to pay off my debts. I might not even be able to buy the seasonal new handbag.
Right, and I need to fund my gambling next week. I need to contact him quickly.
I really can't believe you didn't understand this sooner. You've been talking about Brock like he's some kind of a loser, while he's actually doing much better than we thought.
It's just hard to believe. Every time we talked about him, it was always in a negative light. I assumed he was just floundering without any direction, not a successful entrepreneur.
Well, that's the mistake we made. We were so focused on what he didn't have that we failed to see what he was achieving.
This changes everything. I thought he was just wasting his time at home while Mark was making something of himself. I didn't realize Brock was actually working hard in his own way.
Exactly. We need to fix this before it's too late. I mean, we could lose our connection with him, and then where would we be?
I'll reach out to him. Maybe we can talk about getting the allowance back on track, but also find ways to show him we appreciate what he's doing.
Yes, that sounds perfect. Let's not wait too long or we might lose him.
I'll do it right now.
Good. I really hope we can fix this.
All right, I'll text him right away. Brock! I heard a lot from Mom. It turns out that the allowance of $5,000 you've been sending is real, isn't it? Now that the misunderstanding has been cleared up, let's put everything behind us and move forward. I need you to transfer this month's payment right away. Huh? Why hasn't he read it? Seriously, Brock? Are you ignoring me? I need that $5,000 from you right now!
Actually, the remittances I had been sending were done in consultation with my uncle as a final act of kindness. He told me that if this doesn't work, he would throw my parents into a place where they would be reprimanded, setting up a 24-hour surveillance system to ensure the repayment of their debts. After all this, he confirmed the current situation where the condition of working for the remittances was not being fulfilled. Finally, my uncle decided to take action. As it stands now, my parents have had their means of communication taken away, and it seems they aren't even in America anymore. I feel a sense of relief knowing that I can leave this to my uncle, as he will handle everything effectively. By the way, my younger brother Mark looks genuinely cheerful now, having finally been freed from our parents' overindulgent love. We've always had a good relationship as brothers, and right now we're living together in a certain part of New York City. We've been discussing how we want to lead solid lives, learning from our parents' mistakes and avoiding the same pitfalls. It's a refreshing change to be free from that chaotic environment, and we're both motivated to work hard and build a future that doesn't involve the same struggles our parents faced. Mark has started working at a major corporation, and he's enjoying the stability it brings. He's learning how to manage his finances wisely, unlike our parents, who made reckless decisions that put them in such a dire situation. Watching him flourish is inspiring, and it makes me want to push myself further, too. Living together has its challenges, of course, but we're committed to supporting each other. We share chores, cook meals, and even brainstorm ideas for side projects we can work on together. Mark has this idea of starting a small business that aligns with his interests, and I've been giving him feedback and helping him refine his plans. It's a breath of fresh air to discuss our aspirations without the weight of our parents' expectations or negativity hanging over us. We both agree that maintaining a strong bond and being there for one another is essential. There's a newfound sense of camaraderie that has strengthened our relationship. Sometimes I think back to how things were with our parents. The endless arguing, the mismanagement of money, and the chaos that seemed to follow them everywhere. I realize now how much that environment impacted us. We spent so much time trying to navigate their issues, often sacrificing our own needs in the process. But now, Mark and I can focus on our own paths. We're excited about the opportunities that lie ahead. We even set short-term and long-term goals to help guide our journey. Every week, we sit down together to review our progress, making adjustments as necessary, and celebrating our small wins. One of our shared goals is to travel together. We've always wanted to explore different cultures, try new foods, and create lasting memories outside of our old life. We've started saving a little each month, and we've already made a list of places we want to visit, like Chicago, Las Vegas, and even some international destinations like Paris or Berlin someday. We often talk about how this new chapter in our lives is a chance for us to redefine what family means to us. Instead of relying on our parents, we're building a family of our own, one based on mutual respect, understanding, and support. It's liberating to take control of our futures, and we're determined not to repeat the mistakes of our past. Having my uncle involved has been a huge relief. Knowing he has my back allows me to focus on my career and personal growth without constantly worrying about our parents' situation. His actions have shown me the importance of having a solid support system, and it's inspired me to be that kind of support for Mark as well. With all these changes, I've also taken the time to reflect on my own aspirations. I've been considering what I truly want to do with my life outside of just making a living. I want to pursue something meaningful that can help others too. Perhaps getting involved in community service or nonprofit work could be a way for me to give back while fulfilling my personal ambitions. In conclusion, while the path leading up to this point has been tumultuous, I believe it has ultimately shaped us into stronger individuals. Mark and I are not just surviving, we are thriving, and I couldn't be prouder of what we're achieving together. Here's to our journey ahead, to the lessons we've learned, and to the lives we will build, one step at a time. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.